Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for MATIC. I wanted to bring this to your attention because we could basically be about to break out here. You can see we're breaking this trend line since the high back in December of 2021. And the low on MATIC was actually June of 2022. We could potentially have a 1-2 starting a third wave. And this count isn't pretty, but it is completely a valid impulse. And can be also counted as corrective, but if this ends up making a flat, which is also possible, but to the upside, targets are still very high. So I like this because if this is a three-wave pattern, we'd still be looking for a flat and 5 waves to the upside either way. Or if this is an impulse, we have a 1, 2, 3, a running flat 4. It is not invalidated. The X wave would have to go above 137.04 to be invalidated. So this is a valid WXY. Then we had our 5th wave up to complete our 1. You can see our correction ended right between the 236 and the 382 here for our Y and our 4th wave. So whether this is a WXY, ABC, ABC, as a flat, minimum requirement for a flat is the 70% retracement, which we hit here. So if this is a 335, this is why I'm excited about this. This is a 3, looks like WXY here, 3, 5, we'd be looking for 5 waves up. And if this is a 1, 2, we'd be looking for 5 waves up. So you can see why I'm excited about this trade setup. Only difference between the two is whether we come to the 1-to-1 or the 1.618 extension for our third wave. But either way, the direction is pointing up. The only way it is not, which it appears it's already breaking this, is if this ends up being a triangle as an A, B, C, D, E. We'd expect one more drop down here and again still defend this low. So I'm good taking a couple shots at this to the upside. I'm going to take a tight entry here, and if I get stopped out, anticipate that this could be a triangle and then take the long to the upside. But looking down in this area here, you can see we hit right between the 618 and the 786 for our retracement as our wave 2, or as a corrective wave as our A, B, C. That would be my alternative here. So either way, you can see we're pointed to the upside, so it's high probability to the upside. Now the tough part here is ARB got away from me here. If you're watching, I think the impulse starts here, and we have a 1, and we're potentially making a running flat here, where we have an A, B, C, or a WXY before we take off to the upside. The only difference between a WXY and an ABC is whether we get 3 waves here or 5 waves here. And alternatively, this could be the beginning of a leading diagonal as well to the upside, and our wave 2 could have completed here. So you can see we're right between the 1.236 and the 1.382, which is where our expectation is for our X wave or our ABC. I'll call it a ABC just for simplicity's sake, but just know that this last wave can be 3 or 5 waves. And this would be our larger 1 and 2 we'd be aiming for. All right, so I'm buying as close to the 618 extension as I can. I missed it in ARB. This frustrated me. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. I don't want the same thing to happen. You can see it happened here. I was looking to buy the 618 here. You can see it's the exact same pattern, but it looks like it was actually over here, the ABC. So I don't want that to happen again on MATIC. You can see the exact same pattern, except this one seems more likely because we didn't make a higher in this area. So I'm going to go to linear and see if that's closer. 9021, 9308, we're pretty much right there. The minimum requirement for this to be a C or an X wave is that 618 extension of this A wave off this B wave at 9308. And the most common is 8305. And after that is 1.236, 1.382, and so that's what we're looking at. I think I'm going to take multiple entries on this just because I want to have as high of a position as I can, and my risk is only $100 per trade on the channel account. So I'm going to take my entry right above the 618 at probably 9310, right there, and I'm going to defend this low in the middle of the correction. And if we end up coming past that, then I'll buy the 1.382 and the 1.236 right in between there and defend this low on the A. Now, ideally, you want this A defended, which is the normal spot. I would put my stop, but I'm trying to get a higher position size, so I can only risk $100 at a time. So this allows me to risk a little bit more and be targeting the 1-to-1 at minimum, but expecting that potential 1.618. So this is a nice little 4-to-1 trade setup. So if I get stopped out there, I'd probably have to wait for a bottom because I'd be more concerned of that triangle we mentioned on the larger time frame. I'd probably look for an area down here. But for trading purposes, I'm going to put that stop on the B wave. Sorry. I'm going to put the stop on the B wave of this ABC or WXY or the X wave right here at this pivot. Because in a running flat, we should make higher highs and higher lows, and we should not break the A wave. Again, ideally I'd enter here, but it's just too far away. If you see the stop, if I get in there at 9110, we're talking about 20%, right? It's very high. So I'm going to put my entry in right now. You'll have to check what that is on your exchange if you make the decision to trade it yourself. And all you do is take the extension of this A wave off this B wave, put on the 618 and the 100, and that's the area we'd be looking for reversal. And stop at this one tick below this pivot, which on Binance is 7525, so I'd go 7524. But realize I'm just targeting the most common, the minimum requirement, and the most common, the 1-to-1. But we can absolutely come down here and then reverse, at which point I'd look for another entry and get stopped out on my first trade. All right, guys, so that's it for MATIC. Looking very bullish at the moment. Hopefully get this entry and it doesn't take off on me like ARB did. You can see how close we came to that 618. I was looking for this, and it turns out we did double top here, and this was actually the 618 I was targeting, and we took off. But I think I screwed up here because I was on the wrong exchange with the measurement, so we actually did hit the 618 extension. So that was my mistake. Apologies on that one, but not going to miss this one. I'm buying at 9310, just above that, and stop at this low. So my buy area is 93.1 cents, 93 cents, 0.1, and my stop is at 7524. Targeting currently the 1-to-1, expecting extensions though in that third wave at 175. Upper extensions for the third wave. I'll have to zoom out here. So our 1-to-1 is 250, and if we get a third wave here as an extension, we're looking at $7.70. So pretty significant difference between those two. But I'm going to get this entry in now. I'm going to limit order this one. If you want to check out my other trades, this is everything I'm in currently. I post every trade setup, every stop move, everything like that. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you want the updates as soon as possible. And thanks for watching.